So in this video, I want to explain to you guys why the Denver Broncos will beat the Indianapolis Colts in week 2. And it starts off with the pass rush. No team in football had more pressures than Denver last season. We're talking about Cam Moore in week 1, guys, was pressured on about 55% of his dropbacks. I mean, that's just completely absurd. I get the Colts O-line was statistically the best in week 1, but they were going up against the Miami Dolphins. Daniel Jones, I believe it was 33 dropbacks. He had 25 of them. There was no pressure, which means he has all day to throw. That's not going to be the case for Denver. Pretty much any QB in the game, if not all of them, with that much of a clean pocket, they're going to have a productive day. But when Jones has to make quicker decisions, that's what we've seen him be very, very bad. I think Denver is going to have a plan for the Colts because the thing with them is they don't have to blitz. They'll send four at you and comfortably get pressures. If they do blitz, then you better be ready to get rid of that ball quickly. But I just expect Jonathan Cooper and Nick Benito and Zach Allen to wreak havoc in this game. And Colts fans were very, very quick to say that, hey, look, we told you guys that Daniel Jones, when he had this type of talent and coaching around him, would thrive. But we need to see it against an elite defense. Denver was first in EPA last season. You talk to anyone that tell you how elite this defense was, and they got even better in the offseason, going out there and bringing in, of course, Talanoa Hufanga, and of course, bringing in, of course, Dre Greenlaw, who is listed out, so I guess he won't be playing. He was questionable yesterday, so he's now officially out. But this D is legit. In the nickel, of course, Jaquan McMillan, Jade Barron, of course, coming out of Texas. Hookah, man, you guys can't see me. Riley Moss, Patrick Surtain, Brandon Jones. This is just such a deep defense that attacks you in multiple different ways. And I think Daniel Jones is in for a rude awakening. But if the Colts do win this game and Jones plays well, we're going to have a serious discussion about Indianapolis. But I don't think Denver will struggle offensively like they did in week 1. It seemed like Bo Nix was trying to do too much. It was almost like he was trying to prove something like, hey, look, I can push the ball down the field. Because if Denver wins the Super Bowl, it's going to be because of Bo Nix. I mean, the defense would have to be as good as it was last season, if not better. But you can't get there with just an elite defense. You know, this isn't 10 years ago. You need a quarterback that can get the ball down the field, that can make plays with the game on the line. And Nix last season showed he can do that. But now he needs to go out there and consistently do it every single week. He doesn't need to be Lamar Jackson. He doesn't need to be Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. But can he, when the game's on the line, get it done? And it seemed like Nix was trying to do too much to force it into tight windows. He needs to let the game come to him and take what the defense is giving. And I expect in week 2, Bo Nix to be phenomenal and to say, hey, look, I know I had a bad game in week 1, but this is who I really am. I picked Denver to win this game before the season started. I personally think they're going to win this game. I'm not saying comfortably. It's going to be close. It's going to be a one-possession game. But I do think Daniel Jones will do something stupid. He'll turn it over, and I think Bo Nix probably will get the ball back and make him pay for it. That's how I see this game going. The Colts are also without several key players. Leatu Latu was the highest graded edge rusher in week 1. He is questionable. He didn't practice yesterday. I don't know if he practiced today, but I do know that Charvarius Ward is out. I do know that Jalen Jones is out. So now all of a sudden you've got your best corner, probably DeForest Buckner is the best player on that unit, but easily your best guy in the secondary. Jalen Jones is a stud. Now Xavier Howard's going to have to play more. He's going to be tested. Again, he was good in week 1, but again, it's Miami versus Denver. Two teams that since that 70-point game have just gone completely different directions. Denver will showcase that they've got the best defensive football. They've had enough of this Daniel Jones talk and Shane Steichen, get that out of here. Offensively, we're going to see Bo Nix probably throw for 250 to 260 yards, a couple of touchdowns, no turnovers. He's going to thrive off of play action. You know who's also going to have a phenomenal game? I'm looking specifically at RJ Harvey. I'm calling for him to take over this backfield. No more J.K. Dobbins. Tyler Day, I'm fine on like third downs, but there's no reason at all J.K. Dobbins should be getting 15 carries or whatever he had last week. I need to see RJ Harvey be a bell cow type of running back because he's just an absolute stud, man. I watched him at UCF. I like his game. Evan Ingram was quiet last week. I expect that to change in this game. Honestly, I bet the Broncos will. Well, I'm not betting on this, but I just have a feeling the first play is probably going to be a bootleg to Nix's right. Evan Ingram's going to come across to the left side of the field, catch it, and get up the field for a big gain. They need to get him more involved. And then in terms of these receivers, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton, hold on. Continue to do what you've done best and get open and make contested catches. I think Troy Franklin is going to be a big X factor in this game. He was Honestly getting a lot more work than I thought in week one against the Titans, but I think this time he'll probably catch a go ball deep down the field. He'll beat a Colts corner off of a blitz. He's 1-on-1. And Luanaromo, as good as he is, he's missing his top DB. And Luanaromo thrives through defensive backs. That's exactly the thing for the Broncos is they don't have to deal with Ward. That's a huge loss. Jalen Jones, if Leatu Latu doesn't play, I don't think the Colts even have a chance in this game. I mean, we're talking about their best edge, their best corner. They're facing a pass rush. Like Miami's literally their pass rush was the worst in football in week one, and now they're facing the best pass rush. If Daniel Jones is pressured as much as Cam Ward is, the Colts don't have a chance. I don't think he will be because the Titans obviously have no O line whatsoever. And another thing as well is that the Titans don't have a playmaker at tight end. Akago is okay, he's solid, but Tyler Warren's an absolute stud. But the Broncos statistically were the best team in football last year at defending tight ends. So that's another thing. They didn't have to defend a guy like Tyler Warren very often. But I just think the Broncos match up very well with the Colts. And I do think Indy's defense will hold its own. I don't think they'll give up more than 3 touchdowns. They'll probably give up like 21, 24, something along those lines. But I don't think the Colts can put up that many points in this game. I just simply don't. Indy last season, I don't remember how much they scored against Denver, like 15 or something like that. Of course, JT dropped the ball, which would have been a touchdown. But the Broncos have something to prove this season. Last year, they're kind of playing with house money, but now it's about winning the AFC, the division, a Super Bowl. They're going to come to play. I think they're going to thrive off of just shutting the Colts crowd out. It's going to be a fun game, probably one of the more fun games of the week. But I just don't have faith in Daniel Jones in this game. And even though I looked at his tape and I was impressed, but again, he has a clean pocket. With guys coming at him in his face, can Jones make those decisions quickly? Because, Daniel Jones, even when he has a clean pocket, he's still taking a little bit more time than he should as an NFL QB. I like Denver. I'm picking Denver in this game. If I'm wrong, please go in the comments and roast me and cook me. I don't think I will be, though. I felt very confident about Denver in this game for a while now, for like probably a month to this point. And another thing is just this Denver offensive line. It's the same line that we saw last season. Denver just year after year, they're bringing back the same linemen, and that's such an advantage. Of course, Bo Nix hasn't really had the luxury of having the same line or the same coaching staff and the same play caller, the same QB coach. That's another thing that's a huge advantage for the Broncos, and I think that experience is going to show, even if it only has been 2 seasons. And I guess my final point as well is just who Denver is playing next. I'm not big on looking too ahead of the schedule because I like to take it 1 week at a time. But it absolutely does matter in this situation because after the Colts, Denver will head to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, and then they're at home against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. And now technically that's not a short week; it's an extra day. Eagles at Philly. The Jets looked like a pretty simple game coming into the year, but with the way Justin Fields looked in Week 1, that game becomes a lot more challenging. I'm not concerned necessarily, but it's probably going to be like closer than we thought. Giants, Jackson Dart's probably starting to that point. Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, Kansas City. Las Vegas is not the same old crappy Raiders. No, the Raiders, I mean, they didn't look incredible by any means in week one, but it's Pete Carroll. Like, they're going to come to play. The Commanders at their place, at Las Vegas, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Los Angeles. This is a tough schedule. It's not like, oh my God, this is crazy, the craziest thing I've ever seen. But every game pretty much is going to be competitive. Even like the Jacksonville Jaguars, you can't really underestimate them. I mean, they've got literally Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter on the outside. But you guys get my point. Is it feels like the Broncos have to win this game because they've got Chargers, Bengals, Eagles. They could easily lose 2 of those 3. They could lose all 3. Will they? Probably not. But you just got to get this. You cannot drop this game to the Colts and then have to play that gauntlet trio. But yeah, guys, I'm out. Daily Broncos. Smash that like button. You already know the vibes. Yee.